Welcome to the Truth Network podcast, a space for clarity, alignment, and real conversations that shape minds and futures. Today, with us, we have the Honorable Bello Shagari, who has really shaped, or rather, is taking form of shaping the future of Nigerian youth. And we're going to start with one very vital question that will, you know, shed light to the youth as well. From your experience, what do you believe is the mindset gap holding today's youth back from realizing their full potential? And how do you think it can be addressed? Even though we know you've already started something like that.
First of all, I would like to thank you for having me on this platform.
You're most
It's
welcome.
a pleasure and an opportunity for me given to share my views concerning cancer has to do with the Nigerian youth, or the youth in general.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a very important question that you just asked. You know, one of the biggest problems that our young people are facing is the fact that they're always waiting for somebody to come and save them or provide them with opportunities or do the job for them. And unfortunately, there's no such person. When you sit down and do nothing, nothing's going to happen. There's a saying that if you want the job done, do it yourself. So once you imbibe that as your discipline, you will have issues. But most of our young people will be sitting and be waiting for somebody to come and provide solutions for them. There's no way you'll be sitting down and somebody will come and solve all your problems. Not even your immediate problems. So you have to see yourself as somebody who is carrying the flag, as somebody who is taking responsibility and take action. Else, you'll be sitting down for a long time. And that is the mindset of anybody who has been able to do anything, not just in Nigeria, but across the world.
I see.
Taking responsibility.
So the whole idea of finding my helper does not exist.
No, it doesn't. Help comes when you prepare yourself for it.
I see.
You understand? So I believe in preparing yourself for opportunities. Once you prepare yourself for those opportunities, they come to you, and you create value for yourself. When you are able to solve, that's the whole point of entrepreneurship. When you're able to provide a solution, you understand, you become valuable to whatever it is that you're doing, whether your society or your community or wherever you find yourself. People will be looking for you to solve a problem once you are able to provide that solution. So we have to empower ourselves with skills, to make us valuable or employable for us to be seen as a solution, not otherwise.
Yeah, and I agree with that. We're just saying that goes by nobody's coming to share it. But I feel like it's an addition to that, like you said, if you have some kind of value to provide, obviously you have opportunities waiting for you, and someone can put you on and carry you along.
Let me just give you an example. Now, assuming someone who is rich wants to build a house, no matter how rich that person is, he cannot go by himself and put in big by big and build their house. He has to find people who can build their house. So if you position yourself as somebody who can build, that rich person will find the value in you because you are providing a service that you cannot otherwise provide for himself.
Okay.
And then he pays you and you build it for him. So that's how the world works. Nobody is an island of his own.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs one another. So you have to look at your society. What is lacking in this society? That is, for instance, if you are falling into the category of entrepreneurship, what is lacking in this society? What can I do to bridge the gap that is missing? If you're in public space, how can I contribute to my society development? Not sitting down there all the time complaining and blaming government for it.
Is that how you started your youth movement and became a leader and a prominent person, I'd say, in that area of life?
Yes.
By seeing the gap.
I felt a sense of responsibility
Okay.
because I'm a fan of history and it got to a point where I started asking myself, how would I be remembered? Now I'm reading the history of people who have, made their mark in their various events. I've done this, I've done that. Okay, what am I doing? Especially that at the age that I was when I started, most of them have gone further. I had to do things that I wouldn't have imagined doing. For instance, just to give you an example of General Yakubu, he became the president of 30.
Oh.
Well, I became the president of the Youth Council at 29. Youth Council, I was still in the youth cycle. When he became the head of state of Nigeria at 33 and retired at 40. So these are the things that inspired me. Asking myself, what am I doing? So I felt like I have a responsibility and a duty to my society and to the country in general
Yeah.
to contribute my own quota. We can't sit back and be complaining about development while we are not contributing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, that's right. And we talk about responsibility and duty, and that comes with leadership. So I've been wondering about something concerning leadership. Leadership today goes beyond just position or title. So, in your view, what responsibilities does influential individuals hold the younger generation?
Well, mentorship, providing them with skills and opportunities. Even though I said you shouldn't wait for anybody, but there are people who, provide these opportunities to young people, and no matter how much they extend their hands, if we not grab those opportunities, they become useless. I can bet you there are so many opportunities around that young people are not tapping.
Absolutely.
They are there.
Endless.
But because I don't know what they are waiting for, we have developed a very bad culture in this country. That's why at the time President Buhari once said, calling the Nigerian useless. Everybody was angry. Even me, I responded in a very bad light because I felt it was putting Nigerian young people in a bad light, especially from the foreign ends.
Oh, yeah.
However, there's some truth to it. We sit down and wait for food to be put on our table. Nobody is putting food on the table. And that is not to shy away from the responsibility of the leadership. You understand? Of course. We owe our leaders a responsibility to provide us with the, especially enabling environment to thrive, which in Nigeria is very bad. It is not easy for me to survive the climate that has been created in this country. Except, if you are lucky, and the price is just too big to pay. That's why you find our young people being vulnerable to so many negative vices and vices, because probably those opportunities are not provided to them, and the climate is not friendly, and they feel that they have to do whatever it takes to survive. That's the hardworking ones. Not everybody that is found on that wrong path is a bad guy.
Yes.
Sometimes they are just forced because these opportunities are not there, and they have to survive, and they have to be getting home one thing or another. So it is a responsibility of the government and our leaders, the leaders of our society, to provide that enabling environment that will allow young people to thrive.
Sorry for cutting you short, but this really resonated with a book that we did a giveaway about by Sadiq Rabiu, where he asked the question whether it's the leaders or the followers, whose fault is it that we have a corrupt nation. And I just want to know, like, after all you've said, because you've given both of us faults, or rather both leaders and the youth, and you've also given both of us like reason to go out of the box and help each other. So it's like everyone has a responsibility, but who would you say among the leaders or the followers are the problem of Nigeria?
By the way, Sadiq Rabi is one of the young people that we are really proud of their involvement that are doing about to reach out to young people especially. So that question is a very important question, especially that it's been asked for somebody who is already in government.
Yeah.
First of all, the leadership cannot be absolved of any responsibility.
Yeah.
They are the first line of blame. When anybody will first blame them because they are being given a mandate to provide and secure a better working environment or environment for these young people to survive. But nevertheless, I believe even if they don't do that, that doesn't mean we should also be sitting down and doing nothing.
Waiting.
And one of the problems we are facing in this country, especially for our young people, is the fact that we are not holding our leaders accountable. Yes, we don't hold them accountable. So, partly it goes back to us as well.
Yeah.
And if you are not holding them accountable, they will keep behaving the way they want.
Yeah.
So, but it all goes back to education, civic education in particular, right? Because there's a huge gap in terms of civic education in Nigeria. A lot of young people or Nigerians in general have very little civic, knowledge. They don't know what to do and when to do and how to do it. So, especially in our democracy. And in a democracy, when if civic education it's not there. You know, there's no way that the democracy would thrive.
Yeah.
You find out that it will end up in a way that the leaders will keep cheating the people that nobody will hear anything about it.
I see. I just honestly, I've always thought about this from this light. Like, when did it start? Because you're a historian to a level where, like, you've gone through different eras of Nigeria by studying about them, and for the fact that you have also held like public offices and you know how the politics of the country is. Where did it start from? Because, as you rightly said, it's the leader's responsibility to create an enabling environment for the youth to thrive. So
It started from colonial rule.
I see.
How?
That's the foundation of all
Yes.
of this.
Yes, when the white people came, they decided to build a new nation for us.
Yeah.
So it became a project of government,
Mm-hmm.
the colonial government, building a nation, building the infrastructure, building the system and everything.
From scratch.
From the start.
A new-
we had our own
Way of
systems.
life. Yeah.
Yes.
But they decided that no, your systems are not working. We have to build a new one. There was no Nigeria. They built Nigeria. So as far as we're concerned, they built an entire new nation for the with new systems. So, and even the infrastructure, they built the roads, the offices, the hotels, everything was government doing it.
Yes.
So when they left, it's the typical Nigerian citizen believed that it's the role of the government to do everything for them, even to provide them for jobs.
Mm.
You understand? That's why young people now, whatever they finish their universities, they just go for government jobs.
Mhm.
Then we need jobs from the government. Government does not provide jobs for everybody. There is no way in the world where the government provides jobs for everybody. It's impossible. So, but this is the country. If you look at the United States of America, the United States of America was not built by the government. Go and read or watch the Men Who Built America. It was built by competitive businessmen, entrepreneurs who are building railroads, building industries and so on. Just like Dangote is beginning to do like Nigeria. So this is how America was built. So nobody was dependent on the government. The only role that the government is doing is regulations and policies. There was a time that those businessmen were even more powerful than the government.
Yeah.
So what the government had to regulate that. So up to today, when you go to the US, yes, they complain about jobs from the government, but what they are complaining are policies that will allow jobs to be created for people to be employed. But here we are looking at NNPC,
CBN.
employing people, CBN, and so on and so forth. It doesn't work like that. How many more people can the government employ?
Yeah.
So this is where the culture comes from.
I see.
Somebody like me, when I finished my uni, I decided I wasn't going to work for government because I understood how it works. And I felt like with all the privileges I have, I should be able to create jobs for other people rather than occupy them. And I've successfully done that. So since then, I've never worked directly for government. The offices I held were mostly elected, and they are in the civil society. The National Youth Council of Nigeria, and others. So they were not. I've never worked for government really, but I've worked side by side with the government.
So, what you're giving us just now, you have let us know that for Nigerians, like it's kind of like a culture or an entitlement
Yeah.
that the government must provide
Yeah.
jobs for us. But now, we thought otherwise. Okay, why not create value and opportunities for others instead of just waiting for the government? Now we are creating employment for other people, and then what the government will do rather is just provide policies and governance.
Yeah. What is anyway, let's I think let's go towards what I'm doing now
Yeah.
on that line.
So there's actually a question about that. It's an amazing thing that you're creating empowerment. And honestly, when I saw the recent launch of NVN Africa, I was like, that looks exactly like the direction that you just explained.
Yeah.
So please, can you just tell us the benefits that NVN Africa is going to bring to the Nigerian youth, removing them from that mindset of, entitlements and hand-me-downs and
Yeah.
my helper locating me and all of that.
Perfect. So NVN is NAMIO. NAMIO means Non-Aligned Movement Youth Organization.
Yeah.
Our headquarters in Azerbaijan. We have almost 100, about 102 20 countries that are under Non-Aligned
Wow.
Movement. But the youth organization is still building up.
Yeah.
So I'm the vice chair in Africa here, so I'm in charge of the African continent. So this is the initiative of the African Regional Office. Sorry, NVN only exists in Africa.
In
for now.
Africa.
And it is launched a few days ago here in Nigeria. And the aim is to mobilize young people towards community development, responsible citizenship, and climate advocacy. Community development in the sense that they will, troop into their communities and look at the issues they have, advocate for them, and see ways to solve them together with stakeholders. Responsible citizenship. This is one of the things that were missing among citizens.
Yeah.
Patriotism, taking action and taking responsibility into our own hands. In several ways. It's kind of broad.
Yeah.
And then climate advocacy also, climate action includes climate advocacy and action. Doing things that will support, climate.
And not destroying the earth.
Yeah. So
Sustainability.
yeah. So many of those things. So the point is putting young people to work.
Yeah.
There are several young people that are energetic, that are willing to contribute their own quota towards the development of their own societies, but they don't know how, and they don't have the platform. So MVN is providing them that platform, number one. Number two, it is providing them the opportunity to contribute, and it's also providing them the opportunity to be trained and to attract employment from both public and private sector. Because in the process, what we are trying to do is identify people who are hardworking. We have a system, an app that identifies that, and then among them, from the partners that we are going to have, who will provide value to us, whether in terms of scholarships, in terms of materials, in terms of training, and
Resources.
so on. We'll be extending them to those selected young people, those who are hardworking, because anybody who's working hard should be able to be rewarded.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it is a reward system for that, and we are exposing them to opportunities. For instance, if a private sector has an event and is looking for volunteers, and then we provide them with those volunteers, and then in the course of volunteering, they see the good in you and decide to retain. Good for you.
Amazing. Yeah.
So we feel that people have to learn to give something to get something. Don't just sit down and be waiting for bills. Go somewhere and demonstrate whatever you have in you. Demonstrate your talents. We are providing that opportunity to them. So this is just the short-term vision, but there's a long-term vision in a way that people will be contributing, because we are looking at integrating through tech and education in a way that there will be transactions, people will be earning, because this is the future.
Absolutely.
People will make their earnings online.
Yeah.
So you have to see ways you can integrate that into the NBL app so that young people can thrive on their own without needing or waiting for anybody to
So
come.
is the NVN app on Apple and Play Store right now?
Not yet. We are at the primary stage,
Mhm.
so it's now only on web, www.fdnafrica.com.
Are you guys hearing? www.mvnafrica.com.
So very
So go and find it.
user-friendly websites. I've been there, and
Really? Are you registered on there?
of course,
Oh, that's good. I should do that.
Yeah, you should.
nobody's
Yeah.
going to see
We are
us.
looking at least the 15 million young people by 2050.
Wow.
But that is across Africa. But Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa.
That's
Yeah.
very doable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If we put in the work, which we are going to,
Mhm.
in the next few months, I'm looking at unveiling the Algerian one.
Okay.
Algeria, I'm looking
Amazing.
at Gambia, I'm looking at Senegal. This thing got before we move ahead to any other countries, but it's going to be a slow process. I might not finish it. Maybe by the time it's all over, I think I'm no more the vice chair of Africa region, but that is the vision that I'm hoping that by the time it's 2050, we have 15 million people.
That's amazing. So, to just wrap this up, if a truth seeker could take just one principle from this conversation, or rather from you actually, into life, what would it be? So, what's one principle that you feel is the driving force behind all that you do that is so essential?
Don't blame anybody. Take responsibility. It is very important. By the time you start giving excuses and blaming other people for the problems you are facing, then you are no million small that hectic. But by the time you take responsibility, then you will see change in your life. And let me give you an example. If I should borrow my friend my car, and he goes out with the car and have an accident with it, I'll take it as my own fault. I'll take blame. Because had I not given him that car, he wouldn't have had that ticket.
Yes.
So that is taking responsibility. Although, yeah, he has his responsibility for having that accident. He's responsible for having that accident.
Yeah.
But had I not given him, he wouldn't have had it. So we should always reflect back to ourselves and blame people less and take your responsibility more in everything you are doing, and you see change in your life, and you won't have anybody to be pointing to whatever misfortune or
That is going on
success
in your life.
you've had in your life.
Okay, right. So
Absolutely.
if I understand what you just said, or if I can break to another point of view, that's calling us to look towards self-altruism and participation. You're always responsible. So if what you or manner you contribute to whatever your reality is going through. Simple.
I saw something on TikTok today that said you're the main character in your life.
You are.
So like you cannot be acting like a side piece or background cast. You have to take that main
Blaming
character.
people, it is nothing but weakness. In every, if you are, people tend to like to blame others.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse just not to take responsibility. No, it is because of the northerners, it's because of the southerners, it's because of the houses, it's because of the Yorubas, because of this one, it's because of that one. It's just, bro, look at what are you doing? What have you done to fix the situation?
Yeah. And in all honesty, you see successful people across all races, all tribe, all religion.
Yeah.
And that's one principle I'd say they really do follow.
Yeah.
Like just doubling down and doing the work.
Simple.
Yeah.
Look at what you-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
From
amazing.
what I've learned today, considering our whole constant attack, is first of all, nobody's going to save you. That you have to do the work, position yourself for opportunities,
Yes.
and in timing, you get that.
Yes.
And secondly, as you just said right now, you are responsible for each and every single action or engagement when you face in life. So embrace yourself for whatever happens, look towards how can I do better next time? If this happens next time, what can I do? How can I prevent this? How can I make the best judgment of it? So yeah.
Perfect.
Honestly, this was a very eye-opening conversation because there are some parts of life, like I look at things holistically, not
Yeah.
just work related or money inclined. Like life in your family, with your friends, with entrepreneurship, with business partners, and so on and so forth. And it applies across. And what some of us do is that we apply these principles in maybe some parts of life and then live out in other parts of
Yes.
life. Yes, and then the other parts of life when they're not working, you're wondering, okay, who did I offend in the process? Because we had a conversation with a friend of mine, and it really went like that. It's like, and I asked her, in university, did you study? She said yes. Did you pass? She said yes. I said, okay, so why can't you channel that kind of energy towards getting
Right,
what you
life.
want right
Yeah.
now in your life? So
Because it all goes back to dependence. She depends on being given instruction on what she
I see. So that's what uni does to you?
Unfortunately, yeah, it does. It depends on who you are as well.
Yeah.
People are different. Some people are good in taking instructions. Some people are good in giving them. And some people are just don't, they are just freestyle. They just want to be left alone and they are creative enough to come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to respect that. You see, I have this saying that there's this saying that all fingers are equal. Fingers are not equal.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But every finger is different. And no finger can serve the purpose of the other.
So
That's my own addition to it.
Yeah.
So there are people who are built to be employees.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
No matter how much you try, they can't be entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurship.
They are not creative enough to do anything.
Yeah.
And there's nothing bad with
It's
it.
not a bad
That
thing.
is, that's just the role that they are meant to play. And they have to identify it. That's why as young people we have to identify our strengths and our weaknesses. There are some people who will never thrive at working for anybody.
Yeah.
I know somebody who is around us here. There are some people, they are just not meant to work for anybody.
Yeah.
It's a problem. If you see them working for anybody, by the time it's 1, 2, 3 years, they are done.
Yeah.
They will leave. Maybe they just start to
Grow.
put together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sometimes just
Start
put
up.
together capital.
Mm.
It's like
Something to start something and they will run. But it's not gonna work for them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
You know, in the first episode, that was what our guest spoke about. Know your truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of us miss on that very vital point to actually follow your truth. Because if you don't look inward, you go and be backing on the wrong tree.
very correct.
I know, so, unfortunately, in Nigeria, sometimes the system forces you not to do that.
Hmm.
Because sometimes we're just trying to survive. Imagine with all your creativity and whatever you try to do is been, bogged down.
True.
Yeah.
So when you get a job, you just run and say, okay, let me just work. I need to eat, I need to drink, I need to also put in the side validation.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that
So let me
means
just do this for a while.
Okay.
Sometimes you start doing it and because you become insecure, you feel that if you leave it, maybe something is gonna happen, just keep to it and you lose one talent that could have turned into something, in our society.
Okay.
So
Honestly, this was a very eye-opening conversation, very enlightening. I really enjoyed it. I wish we could go on and on. I have a lot of questions to ask you.
next time
But due to time, yes, I hope
Yeah.
you come back to this podcast again because there's a lot.
And even listening to you guys as well, I've learned a lot and I believe it, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
There's so much.
There's a lot to unpack with you. I feel like, do you have a book?
I'm writing one.
Aha, I will definitely get it because
Yeah.
there's a lot to learn from you.
definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Just with this small conversation, I've learned a lot. I've broadened my horizon on new things, new perspectives of life, and things to apply and things to remote. And that's like a very big privilege for me to be here to speak to you directly. And then, for everyone that's going to watch this, I hope you get a very good, impactful knowledge and not just listen, but also apply and be fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So my name is Aisha Kyota and with me is
Allah and Farid.
Farid. So see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
You always say that.